Tony, you are France's, I think it's fair to say, most successful basketball player. And in the same year that you are being enshrined in the Hall of Fame, the number one pick is another Frenchman in Victor Wembanyama. How have you seen the evolution of French basketball over your career?
Well, first of all, I'm very happy and very proud to see the impact, and I always took it very seriously to be a good ambassador for French basketball. It was one of my main motivations when I first arrived in the NBA. I wanted to show that French basketball, French people, we can play. And I wanted to earn the respect from the Americans because I know how proud they are about basketball. And my dad is American, so I knew what I had to do, to be successful. And he helped me a lot for the mental side. And I wanted to try to, show that the little kid from France can go all the way to the NBA. That was my main motivation. It was my big dream.
And now a little kid from France was the number one pick. He's been called the best prospect potentially ever. I see the smile on your face. You've known him. He won a championship with your team in France. You've gotten to know him over the years. What do you expect of Victor?
Well, it feels like a full circle, Like it's funny, like when he came to Asvel, we always talked about the NBA. Like he was determined, he's going to be like the number one pick, and it was nice to meet his family and his sister, his brother. We have a lot of history, and so when the draft came, I was like, it's crazy. When they got the number one pick, I was like, wow, it was like destiny. I felt like it was meant to be. And he wanted to come to the Spurs, like his whole family wanted him to go to San Antonio, and so when it happened, it was just unbelievable, and I was very happy for him. And now with all the expectation and everything that is happening, it worries me a little bit sometimes, because those expectations are crazy, calling him, like you said, the best prospect and comparing him to LeBron or Michael or Timmy. That's a big shoes, to fill. And so I wish him the best. He's going to have his own journey, and he needs to stay himself. And he's Victor, and he's like nobody else. He's just Victor, and hopefully he can be successful and bring us a lot of championships.
Well, you know a little something about bringing championships to San Antonio. In 2001, you were the 28th pick, and you talked about wanting to potentially change the perception, earn the respect of Americans. What were the expectations or the perception that was put on you at that point, and how did they change over time?
Well, for me, it was no expectation. So it was very different from Victor, because back then, you have to put in perspective, it was not a lot of Europeans, and it was no European point guards. So in my mind, I was like, okay, I need to try to become the first European point guard to make it. And so it started like crazy at my draft. I was drafted 28, like you said, and so at 21, I remember Boston, Chrissy from the NBA, she comes to me and my dad, she gives me the Celtic caps, and she's like, yeah, the Boston Celtics going to draft you. And 45 seconds, she comes back, take the cap from me, and she's like, oh, they changed their mind. And so that was my welcoming to the NBA. It was very different from Victor. And so when I arrived, I remember talking with Pop, and I was like, man, I want to show everybody, like I was so motivated, so it was very different. We had to, open doors, and so I was very blessed that Pop threw me in the fire and gave me the starting job very early in my career after 5 games. And every day, I have to thank him, that he took a chance, on me and on a European point guard.
It's pretty storybook that you were entering the Hall of Fame in the same year.
It's the first time ever. First time that a coach and a player enters the same year. And so it's pretty special to me. Because all the connections that I have with everybody, because Pau, I've been playing against him since I'm a kid. Dirk, same thing. I went to Dirk's jersey retirement. D-Wade, I played twice against him in the finals. Becky Hammond, not a lot of people know that, but she's like my big sister. We're very close. She played in San Antonio, obviously, many years, and we have a great relationship. And then Coach Pop, so it's a lot of connections. And so to me, it's an unbelievable class.
Yeah, there's all these branches of this basketball tree that you all have built, but so many of those branches, they stem from Greg Popovich in many ways. Is there a moment or a story that signifies to you why he is in the Basketball Hall of Fame, aside from all of the on the resume accolades?
Well, like you said, the obvious everybody knows. I think what makes him special is like off the court, all the relationships that he built, and the Spurs tree that you can see now with all those coaches being successful. That was on the pop, and now they're blossoming. You know, Steve Kerr, Mike Brown, and it goes on the list. And so I'm very happy and honored to go in the Hall of Fame with him.
You only played one season outside of San Antonio with Charlotte. Getting that outside perspective on the dynasty of the San Antonio Spurs, what did that make you realize?
I didn't need to go out to realize. I knew already. I never took it for granted. You know, what we had with the Spurs and how we, as a player, everybody, me, Timmy, Bruce, Manu, we were built different. You know, we just wanted to win, and nobody let our ego be above the team. I did it because I wanted to spend time with my idol. You know, I was excited, you know, to go, and it was like full circle to me. You know, it's to say that in the U.S. that you should never meet your idol, but for me it was different. It was awesome to spend some time with Michael Jordan and playing with my little brother Nicolas Batum. So I just wanted to experience something different, not because I didn't appreciate everything that I had with the Spurs. It's just I wanted to do it for my last year.
You had something pretty special in San Antonio with Tim Duncan, with Manu Ginobili in particular. You helped them get into the Hall of Fame. How did they help you?
They made my job easy, that's for sure. To me, Timmy is the best power forward ever, and Manu is the most unique player I ever played with. And so when you have that, it's a good start, you know, especially with Timmy. He's the most unselfish superstar that I ever played with.
You're a four-time champion. In 2007, you were the Finals MVP. When you look back on it all, how do you want to be remembered?
As a winner, that I was a point guard that was playing in winning teams and that we played great basketball. When I looked at 2007, yes, it was amazing to become the first European to win the MVP trophy, but when people ask me what's my favorite trophy, I always say 2014. Because 2014 sums everything up, like the way we lost in 13. And to be able to show our character and say, you know what, we're not going to finish like that. We can't have people remember us like that. And to come back in 14 and the way we played and the style that we played, moving the ball and everything, I'm very proud of that moment. And it was very nice the last 2 weeks to work on my speech and to be nostalgic and appreciate everything. Because when you during your career, you never take time, you know, to realize, you know, everything that you accomplish, and those moments is for that, you know. And so it was nice with my friends and my family. Everybody is all here, like the whole French mafia, and I'm sorry for it's going to be a lot of French people tomorrow. We all looked at like the games, you know. We went back watching NBA Finals games, 03, 05, 07. It was nice to watch everything. But 14 was very special because I was 32 at that time. It was 7 years that we didn't win a championship. And I really realized like how hard it is to win in the NBA.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.